Ladies and gents, people of YouTube, welcome back. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Oh, busy day today, busy day today. Been doing eBay stuff all morning, but we are going to do top end on this KTM today. I got brought this by one of the local racers. He's a really cool kid. He's like 13 years old. This is his first big bike. So it has like 100 and some hours on it. I think it's a 2017, but pretty nice bike, and he takes good care of his stuff, which I like, and brings it to me clean, which is always good, saves you money. But yeah, apparently he was riding it, and they think that they blew a gasket because it died on him and the spark plug had coolant on it. So we're going to do a top end while we're in there, but make sure nothing else is broken. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be. So yeah, let's get these bikes out of here and dig into it. Alright, so first things third, let's get some of this plastic out of the way. All these little guys are just number 6. Except for those are bigger. Those must be 8s. Alright, check it out. That's the spark plug that came out of her, and that looks pretty bad. Definitely some coolant on it, which is crazy. But first things first on her, let's do a compression test just to see where we're at. Alright, so compression-wise, this thing's got a ton of compression, 240. So that's interesting, but I'm guessing that maybe this gasket in here went bad somehow. I don't know. So there's definitely something going on here, because when I'm taking my compression tester out, there is coolant all up in my compression tester. So that cylinder must have a lot of coolant in it. So now that we've established that we have major issues, let's dig into her. First things first, we'll pull the pipe off, and that'll give us access here to drain the coolant and get at the cylinder. The thing I like about KTMs is they use really nice hardware, so they're pretty mechanic friendly, and I definitely like that. Alright, so we drain the coolant, and then there's a little clip right here. Whoa, careful. Little clip right there, that holds this on, and after you pull the clip off, which is kind of weird, it kind of like wraps around and goes into a groove, but you can pop this off with a screwdriver, and it should just pop right off. But I want to use 2 hands, just pulled right off, and then you can access your stud back here. And these we're gonna loosen up in like a crisscross pattern slowly. We're gonna take the head off first, and same deal, like you loosen this one, loosen that one, bop bop bop, pretty easy. So this is kind of interesting. I took the head off, and the head popped off, and that Chingaderis is still there, which I guess the bigger ones are a little different design. I've never messed with this with the 125 before. So alright, so the dome popped off, and there's very little carbon on it at all, but just tons of coolant. So that's kind of no good. So this was a nice surprise. Pulled the cylinder off, and yeah, the gasket looks like it's messed up, but the whole crankcase is full of coolant, so we're gonna have to drain that out for sure. So this is the nastiness that's coming out of her. Looks like a little oil, a little coolant, lots of grossness. So after further investigation, and I don't know how well this is gonna show up, we'll try to get it in the light a little bit better, but I think that this O-ring right here, and I really hope the camera can focus, I think that it's damaged, and that's where the coolant was coming in. I think. The only other thing would be if the base gasket was, and I don't know. But we're going to throw her back together with the fresh piston and rings. So I got the piston out, and I took the air hose, and I blew inside the crank as much as I could to try to get all the coolant out of it. And check out our new parts. New fancy dancy piston, little bearing action, rings, And then gaskets. It looks like there's a few different sizes in here, so let's crack this open and see what we got going on. Alright, so on to reassembly. So we got the piston rings on, and on these KTMs they have like a little keeper, which is pretty cool. You just kind of have to pay attention to that when you put it in. And then we're going to give this guy a little bit of 2-smoker oil there, and slide that boy right up there. No prob, no prob. Let's slap this piston in. Freaking rights. Yeah, we're back at the 125. It's tomorrow. Same video. Good stuff. But I got the engine all bolted back together. These things, they want you to torque them to like 35 Newton meters, and these are 27. You're not going to be able to get a torque wrench on these at all. So kind of, you know, when you get close, because everything you want to do in a crisscross, just like you took it apart. But you can kind of get a feel for it. And with these KTMs, they have pretty low torque numbers, and everything kind of goes together well. There's no need to be He-Man and stuff. KTM builds race-ready motorcycles, meaning they expect you to work on them, which is really nice. So yeah, let's finish buttoning her back up and fill it up with oil and see if it makes some bing ding dings and doesn't have coolant just pissing everywhere. All right, so fresh top ends all together. Turn the fuel on, and let's see if this bad boy will fire up. Wow, first kick. That was interesting. Huh. Alright, so after kicking it 10,000 times and getting her a little cleaned out, she runs pretty good. Well, seems to run pretty good, so let's take her for a little rip around the yard and make sure it's really running good. Well guys, it must have been, I'm thinking that top O-ring that was leaking, and that's why it filled up with coolant, but seems to be running really good now. Like I said, it took a while to blow all the extra coolant that was probably in the crankcase out, and it should probably get another oil change now that we ran it a little bit. But other than that, it's fixed, and it runs freaking awesome. Like, that thing rips for a 125. I was pretty impressed. So, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe while you're here. For everyone else, thanks for tuning in. As always, we'll see you on the next one.